Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining in on this excellent stream this evening. Tonight we're going to be painting up this beautiful Hellboy miniature from, sorry I'm just changing my music, from Mantic Games. Thank you all very much for joining in, and I'm going to be trying to go as, as cell shaded as possible towards the original comic book. So I'm going to be looking at pretty much this kind of style. Same with here. So I've got some references, and I hope that you join along throughout the night and have fun along with me. If you're new to the stream, I'm going to be just painting along. If you enjoy my stuff, you can follow along as well by hitting that follow button up in the top right corner. Let's get started. So I'm going to be starting off on the skin tone on this Hellboy miniature. So I've got some chaotic red from the army painter. Hi Vanguard. So let's have a little bit of a closer look at the miniature. I primed it black because as this cell shading, I have difficulty saying cell shade. I figure it's going to be quite good in the shadows. It's going to have those deep shadows, and I cut a little tiny bit off. This is a key right here that attaches to his tail, and I cut a little tiny bit off. I also cut my finger a little bit as well. But yeah, we're going to get stuck in. I'm going to have some fun. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. I'd love to hear any feedback. Let's get stuck right in. Our paint's a little bit flowy, but I think it should be safe enough. Yeah. Now we're just going to build up these layers. I think I'll work with these legs first. I apologize if I knock the camera a few times as well. I've got more lighting than I'm used to in here. This is very flowy and I don't particularly enjoy it. Let me just get a different kind of paint. Hi Laughing Boy. Okay, I'm going to be using the Sanguine base paint instead of this other chaotic red. I feel like the Sanguine base will help a little bit. It's a thicker paint and it's from the P3 range. So I just want to get the base colors correct first before we dive in. And I know from experience it's pretty much the same color of paint, but it'll adhere to this miniature a lot better. Okay. Now, how many of you are big fans of Hellboy? I read a few of the comic books, but maybe not enough that I would call myself a huge fan. I really like the movies. Um, even the second one, I quite enjoyed it. I think Ron Perlman was an excellent choice to cast for the role of Hellboy himself. Yeah, I love the world behind it. As a matter of fact, my girlfriend was asking me of inspiration pieces for like different creatures. She's working on a little art project in her spare time, of which she is going to create her own creatures, I think. But she was looking for inspiration, so I was thinking around the likes of, Harry Potter has some great great things. Star Wars has some great creatures as well, and even some games like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, The Witcher have some great things. But even Hellboy, I never really thought about Hellboy as having like that kind of vast universe, but it could also be a very unique world to look into and use as inspiration. Hi Ben, thank you very much for tuning in, buddy. You can let me know if I get any facts wrong or say anything bad. So at the moment, I'm going to try and rush through this base coat, and just notice he's wearing gloves there, so that's good. Overstepping on the coat, it's fine. There's no issue on that. I can fix that up a little point later. Just want to get all these skin tones in. And as I said before, he's got a glove there, so let's not worry too much about that. Let's fix this knee. Hi, Ginger's Corner, how are you? Yeah, there's the Troll Market. That was in the second movie, I think it was, from Hellboy. Apologies, my microphone's hitting off my little light. So, those of you who may be new to this range, this Hellboy miniature comes from Mantic Games, and this is an exclusive mini. This is probably the very first one to appear online as a physical form rather than just an image, and I have been graced very nicely with the permission to paint it. I'm going to try my darndest to paint it up well for you guys as well. So I work at beastsofwar.com. I am the lead editor and magic maker behind the force that you see on YouTube. And if you're a backstager, you get to see some of the vlogs, and I appear in some as well. if you're a regular member of Visa War, you may have seen me today streaming talking about the community projects. We do that every week. And hopefully, if I do this miniature justice, we'll be able to see it in more closer detail during the weekend or this weekend. But there's nothing I can say but praise for this miniature. It's such a nice sculpt. There wasn't too much tidying up I needed to do. Just a little tiny bits of frayed ends and connector parts that was connecting like the gun to the leg. Just little structure pieces here and there. Other than that, it single piece sculpt. Really good quality so far. Let's get his neck. I'm not going to worry too much about his. I know he's got big lamb chops, mutton chops down his face, but I'm not going to worry too much about that later because I'll fill that in with matte black at some point later. I'm having a small issue in that this base chunk keeps getting caught in my little fabric. I like to paint on this little mesh fabric because it means that I can like dry my brush on it or anything like that, and if I set minis down they don't slide around the table. I find that with like cutting mats and stuff they tend to slide a bit, whereas this little thing works very well. Okay, I think that's all the skin tone done. Let's get his tail just a little bit more. Let's get this hammer of a arm painted up now. I figured that this arm's probably going to be one of the easier points, and because I'm going with a kind of a cel shaded look, all I'll need to do is like strong highlights to it. Yes, thank you Ben for letting me know again. You can win a copy of Hellboy, this miniature as well, if you share your best painted Mantic miniature with them on Facebook and or their Twitter. So any of your old Kings of War, Dungeon Saga, Dreadball, you name it, whatever, if it's Mantic, share it with them. And I mean, the more miniatures you share with them, the better chances you have of winning this awesome looking mini. And you get to paint it yourself. Two live streams in a day, who'd have thunk? I am a machine. Nonetheless, Let's see, your name is Blue. I can't even see it. Who are you? Oriskany. I stream with a black interface, and because your name is dark blue, I couldn't see who you were. But thank you very much for joining in. It's a pleasure having you. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings from earlier today and our banter with Ben and John. I almost think that this looks quite well without the need for painting highlights on this, because the kind of the mottled texture works very well already. Let me keep it in focus there. Okay. Can anyone in the comments Hi, Call Me Noodles, how are you? Can anyone tell me what color are Hellboy's feet? He's got hooves. So I'm looking here, and we can have a look at the browser screen. I mean, for hooves, he's got red hooves. Are they always red? I always thought they'd be like goat's feet. This is something that never really occurs to someone who's painting or thinks about Hellboy until they paint one themselves. He's wearing quite nice slippers as well. I suppose he can't wear shoes, can he? Okay, those are wrapped all the way around his feet. Yep, looks good. Feet look black to you, like. Okay, let's have a look. Oh wow, this is cool. Yeah, so someone's done his feet in black in this one. That is cool looking. I love the cloth coat. That is really cool. We'll keep it very, very similar to the comics. And so next up, actually, let's color in his like neck here a little bit better. He's got. I know it's in the shadows, but let's get that out of the way. Okay. Seems we've all come to a decision that they're black. The feet look black. That's all well and good. Let's see if we can get a nice like black tone for these feet. And I have a color here called Crick's Bean Base from the P3 range, and it should work quite nicely along with these feet wraps. And let me see. Now the coats in the comics are very pale, but on the inside it's mostly like hard edge black. So I think what I can do is I might go in here with leather brown. That's fur brown I have. Leather brown, yep. So just in here underneath the coat. Look at those abs, yeah. So those crunches he does at night. Okay. Here we go. Painting leather brown, leather brown. Just on the back. It's a little bit flowy, so we may have to do a few more layers on top. I think maybe the primer didn't really reach it, but let's not worry too much. It's not the end of the world. So it's kind of pulling just a little bit, but that's okay. That could come down to an issue with your primer, or come down to an issue that the paint is too flowy. And in this case, it could be both for me. Zenith with a can of black. Caesar has the right idea. There we go. You'll notice there now, just with a few more layers than normal, we've got it nicely base colored. No, I don't want to dip. I don't want to use dip. Okay, so let's get these shoes completed. I think the Crixpian base from P3 Paints will work very well for the shoes. This is a nice, it's not black, it's not, it's kind of like a very dull green, almost. Like almost an army colored green. So there, our leather brown is coming off just a little bit, but not too worry. For this kind of color, I think Crixpain is a very good use. For this model, that looks like a belt. Hi Blair. Yeah, I think dip works very well if you're specifically painting rank and file, I think, and if you're using bright colors. Fantasy is very good for it because, so say if you're painting up Mantic's Kings of War range, I think dip would be very useful because there's a lot of models in it, and I would assume like if you want to do the models quick, you can base color them, get them done quickly for tabletop, dip them in the paint or in the pot, or you can even brush it on depending on what your preference is. I know some people even just dip it straight into the pot. But essentially wait 24 hours and highlight it and you're done. There's even some standards where you don't even bother highlighting it. It's just a matter of quick shading and going. I'm not a fan of it though. It's personal preference. I take a lot of patience with my minis, which might come out tonight. There, we got some boots working for him now. Let's fix up that cloak behind him though. So back to this leather brown, and just doing that in the background. Put it on. There we go. Now, tried to do a little bit of blending there, but it didn't seem to work. Not yet, it's not dry enough for that. Now, what color are his trousers? They're kind of blackish as well. Pretty much the same color as his feet. So we'll get a bit more Crixpain base. And now, let me see. How do we go about this? There's a lot of details happening around his belt. Now I would say this, that the little position that I'm painting currently is a little bit difficult to reach with my paintbrush. But that may also because there's a camera in my way and not just the arm. Some people may have difficulty on it, some people may not. I don't think it's too bad. And on this side, anyone creasing at the idea that I'm holding his head shouldn't be worried, because it's just a base coat. This is the point of painting which I do not particularly enjoy, but once we get to highlighting, oh boy, I cannot wait. The highlights are going to be quite easy on this too, because I'm going with this cell shaded look. Just got a really cool tool belt here. Let's paint in this tool belt as well. Now, don't forget that you could actually win this miniature as well by sending in your best painted Mantic Games miniature to their Facebook and Twitter. So, just to reiterate that, if you have painted any miniatures from Mantic Games at all, any range, send in the pictures to their Facebook or their Twitter, and you could be in for a chance to win your very own Mantic Games Hellboy miniature, just like this one. Let's get this bit at the back. She sells cell shading by the seashore. See, I can do it. I can do it. It just takes time. That's all. Also, hi guys. Thank you very much for joining in. It's an absolute pleasure to see so many people joining in on the stream and having some fun. If you're painting along, tell me what you're painting. I want to know. And feel free to post pictures in the comments as well. I would like to imagine that everyone is scrambling to get like their old miniatures from Mantic Games out, because I know a lot of you probably have a few lying in shelves. Like, quick, I gotta get a miniature painted. I want to win the Hellboy. I guarantee there's one or two out there. This isn't a giveaway for on my part, Blair. This is a giveaway from Mantic Games. So if you have a Mantic Games miniature of your own, you can send it. Send a picture of your best painting to their own Facebook and Twitter, and you could be in for a chance to win your very own Hellboy miniature. Oh, his tail isn't painted on this side. How foolish of me to neglect that. Okay, let's get the gun and holster ready. Because we've already got leather brown, alright, I can paint the holster in that beautiful leather brown color. Now, this is a case where if the army painter guys were watching me right now, they'd be shouting at me, use a bigger brush. I'm not overly happy with just this line, but then again, this is just base painting, so I don't have to be too picky about it. Not yet, anyway. Okay, let's holster of his gun can be this nice. Oh, he's also wearing gloves, I forgot about that too. So I can actually be quite liberal on this end. I don't have to worry about the gloves getting in the way. Okay. So Amanda, are you one to use really thin brushes like myself? I just can't help it. Like, I remember we did an event with the army painter guys were participating with us, and they kept coming over to me and they were like, "Yo, man, why don't you use bigger brushes?" I'm like, "'Cause I enjoy painting. If I enjoy it too much, I don't want to be quick at it. I just want to enjoy it." I think after about 3 attempts to come back to me, asking me to use a bigger brush. I think they gave up. He's like, no, there's no fixing this guy. He's set in his ways. Hi, Tony. Being spoiled is right. You guys don't know the half of it. I'm too good to you. This is a very special stream, and to come back to the whole competition thing, is if you have a Mantic Games miniature already painted, or you know what, if you have Mantic miniatures lying around the house, if you got some old Dungeon Saga, Dreadball, Star Saga, who knows, if you have it, go and get it and paint it up and send a picture of it to Mantic Games, because those guys are looking for all the pictures you can on their social networks of your best painted miniatures, and you could be in for a chance to win this very sexy Hellboy model. And just painting it now, I'm really enjoying it. And because I'm going with the cell shaded look from the comic books, so if we go back to the comic books over here, yeah, we're going to be trying to aim for, this kind of similar tone. I really dig it. I think it looks really cool, and especially very little color scheme. Essentially, there's 3 colors on this model. There's red, cream, and black. If you're looking for an easy miniature, this is the one you need. It's so good. I'm really digging it. Okay, so we've got our gun done. I think it's just the cloak now. Yeah, it is the cloak. So I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to switch to an actual thicker brush because I'm crazy. The guys at Army Painter will love me for this. Always use a bigger brush. And I'm going to be using this leather brown again. Second with the 3 color tone. Let's keep it simple. How was my stew Sunday evening? It was beautiful. It was such a nice, relaxing day. On Saturday, as it was St. Patrick's Day, we didn't really do anything. I don't really celebrate it because being a performer for 8 years, you get hurled all the insults in the world, and whenever you're up on stilts 2 to 3 feet higher than you normally are, you're prone to be pushed a lot. So I just don't really have very good memories of St. Patrick's Day, unfortunately. Which is an unfortunate thing for an Irish guy to say, but that's just the reality of being a performer on these events. If anyone can maybe respond to Jim just to say that the stream hasn't frozen, or at least I hope it hasn't. If he just refresh his page, he should be good to go. And the genie arrives with tea. Thank you very much. I don't know if this is like the texture of the resin, but the coat has a slight texture, like a canvas texture to it, and it works really well for the coat itself. Super quiet. I'm sorry. I'm just a quiet guy when it comes to painting. But hi, Damien, and hi, Jimmy. Thank you for coming back. So hopefully we can get this miniature painted and finished tonight, because we're going to be showing it off this weekend on the Weekender. The guys, we got sent into our studio today, and we all were taking bets on who could get to paint it first, and I drew the correct straw, as it would say, and now here we are. And I think I can replicate quite a nice cell shade motif here. We'll try our best at least, and if not, we'll have fun doing it. May overstep there just a little bit, but that's okay. It was bound to happen. No pressure. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can paint a lot more. I've been painting a lot more off stream and just enjoying the hobby. Because whenever you paint on stream, you're left with quite a bit of pressure, and you have to talk a lot. Well, I don't have to talk, but it's better. And I think this mini here brought me out of my shell, back into streaming again. I was painting up some Rune Wars over the weekend, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be going to foreground actually, Adrian. It's just going to be Sam and Justin. I think it's just going to be Justin, because I'm not a very big fan of traveling. So the less travel I can do, the better. We didn't travel a lot when I was younger, and I just never really had the traveling bug. But I will be at Sloot, and I'm pretty excited about going to seeing everything. I want to go see Mike Thorpe and check out his miniatures, his mini stand again, and we'll get to see all the usual folk, and get to see you guys as well. Get to see the Beast of War community and the Twitch community as well, which is always a great thing. Why is it always Justin? Can I do other people once in a while? Justin loves to travel, and he's the best presenter out of all of us. Don't tell me you're getting fed up with Justin. Justin's great. If you have me in front of the camera, I'll just stand there and stutter. So Radagast, you're going to be, let's see, be at Slit 2. Oh, awesome. Yeah, if you see us, feel free to give us a nudge. And also, we have this small problem whenever we go to events where people will stop us, and it's clear that you guys know us from the website, but we don't know you. So just tell us your username and your real name, just to make sure that we're not standing there going like, yeah, this was nice to meet you. Who are you? Because we have this common problem, and I'm not trying to be big or an uppity about it, but we just we want to put a name to, put a face to a username that we see so often in the forums and stuff like that. It always feels so rude going like, well, I know who you are, Adrian. Now I've seen your pretty mug too often now. I think I know who you are. I'll spot you out of a line, but I don't think I've met Tony, and Tony's going to be there. Yeah. So I'm going to have to look up photographs of Ben again before we fly over, just so I remember what he looks like. Okay, we'll definitely need to go over this in another layer once this dries a little bit more. And then we can begin our highlighting. Let's get a thinner brush. Just make sure Ben will be wearing a screen. Everything will be fine. Yeah, that's a good thing. What we can do is we can talk over phone. We can just like ease ourselves into it again. We'll just make sure that he's not a threat to us. Get him out of his hole. Get him out of his TV screen. Would I recommend a white or a black base for nice red? It depends on what you're highlighting. I'm only joking, Ben. Oh no, he's getting mad at me. Yeah, Evocative Leech. What a cool name. It depends on what you're painting. If you're painting Hellboy, I started off with a black primer base here. But if you're looking for a more pure red, maybe a white primer. It really depends on the model that you're painting and what kind of style you're going for. The black works really well for Hellboy because they're very dark shadows in his attire. So I can kind of cheat and easily paint in the shadows without really doing anything. I think it's going to work quite well with this whole like cell shading piece. What is it you're planning to paint? You're painting Blood Angels from Warhammer, so you want a bit of a shiny red. I know that you can get Dragon Red primer from the Army Painter, so it might be quite good to like prime your minis in their nice red, and then you don't have to worry too much about getting that perfect red in there. You can just kind of like fix up any spots that you've maybe missed, and you can just work on your highlights from there on, essentially. Hellboy is looking pretty dope, isn't he? I'm so down with the kids. He is dope. He is lit, fam. Oh yeah, I've got tea. Let's take a little tea break here. Guys, if you've got your tea, go and get it. Get a nice stretch, get your blood flowing. I've got some beautiful tea. Let's turn this guy around so you can actually see what he's doing. Hey, any bad guys around here? I thought I killed you already. Kettle's on, biscuits or not. Have you had your dinner? If you have, treat yourself to a biscuit. If you haven't, save yourself. Don't ruin your appetite. Or do. I'm not the boss for you. I mean, why not? Just go for it. Tea and Devil Heroes, the perfect combination. If you can think of better, you're in the wrong stream. A few little overlap pieces here that I want to fix up. So this is part of the holster of the gun, which I wasn't too sure of. That's the belt, so keep that. The Crixby and base. Let's just see if we can get in here. There we go. So just to remind everyone, if you have any Mantic miniatures lying around the house that you're particularly proud of your paint jobs, send them through to the Mantic Games Twitter and or Facebook page, and you could be in for a chance to win this devilishly handsome Hellboy to paint all by yourself. And I think, you know, for a social network prize, this is pretty good. I mean, all you have to do is, everyone's got a Facebook. I assume most of you have Twitter. Send as many pictures as you can. Just send them in, fire them through at them all the time. The more pictures you send through to them, the more chance you have of winning this model for your own. And don't forget to tune in to this week's Weekender on the beastofwar.com website as well, where we will be discussing this model in further detail and talking about the Hellboy miniatures game probably in more detail as well. I won't be in it, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to rely on Ben to talk nonsense about it on the Weekender. I will give you all of the updated nonsense tonight, but I will leave you in the gracious hands of Ben and the guys to talk about it over the weekend. You missed the Weekender last weekend. That's unfortunate. We all miss it too. Whenever we can't do a Weekender, it's not we're not sitting in the office going, yay, we're sitting in the office going, oh, because I mean there's so much things that go on that, you know, we do need a break too sometimes. And because there's the guys over at Prague, they were covering the Warhammer 40k event, we didn't have the time to do a weekender, and the Prague footage was awesome, but me personally, I love editing the weekenders. It's my favorite point of the week, is because the weekenders are so much fun to edit. I can never wait to do them. Is the Wall of Doom coming along? The Wall of Doom is actually coming along very well. Also, let me just do a little bit of an experiment here. So I'm just gonna like shade in this part here. I need a little bit more paint on this. So what I'm doing is I'm using the Crixbane base to shade in just behind his legs and crotch area. Just going to be doing just very small glazes of this. Just for that little bit of shading in there, because it really needs it. I know I said we're going to cell shading, but I can't help it. I can't help a little bit of wet blend. It's starting to pool down there, and that's only because they're different paints that I'm using. But once that dries, it'll look quite nicely and I can blend it a little bit better. We'll do the same on the other side as well, right there. Using a different brush, just blending it in. There we go. Doing the same here, although it doesn't really require it. Just adding that tiny bit of realism into it. Even though we're going for cell shading, there's no saying we can't bring in a little bit more shadow into the mini. We'll do the same on the inside of the cloak as well. And that can be perfectly blended to very, very slight glazes. Same in here. Blending that up. There we go. Beautiful. Yes, it's only 2 years, mate. Painting Walking Dead. Looking forward to miss the weekend of love. Oh, I need to be in more weekenders. It's only been 2 years. Is that what that's in reference to? Thank you very much anyway that you've been enjoying the hobby hangouts. Me, Ben, and John, we've been really enjoying it because I think we've got pretty good banter between us. Okay, I want pure red. And hopefully this won't be too abrasive on this sanguine base. But we'll see. I may blend it just a tiny bit because this is very bright. I know the miniature is very bright in itself, so if we look at the Hellboy comic, he is very bright red. So let's see if we can bring that out in the miniature. I'm just going to blend it though first with the pure red and see how we can do with that. I feel like the contrast between the reds will be a lot, so we'll start off in the feet here. Actually not too bad, it goes on quite nicely. Let me do this side here and you can actually see it in more detail. There we go. It's a little bit mottled, but I think with some layering it'll go on very, very nicely. There we go. Mix orange and the red. Do you think? I think this might work just enough. I have done that in the past where I've mixed in orange for that little bit of brightness, but I think this is bright enough that we should see a decent contrast between them. That's a pretty good suggestion though. There we go. So the feet are a little bit dark, but I think that's only because of the webcam. I'm going to bring up my brightness just a tiny little bit here. Okay. Let's get these knobbly knees done. So following the muscle structure. Pokemon! Oh man, I miss that. Enjoy, Radagast. Enjoy. I'm slightly jealous. Only slightly. I'm a 90s kid. What do you expect, guys? Don't judge. Okay, this knee is kind of difficult to shade. see if I can cheat a little bit here. I'm gonna just keep in there quite dark. Let's work on the tail. Rosa is asking if you paint my models. Oh, yes, we are buddies. That's cute. Don't worry, Adrian, someday we'll get a game of Volsung in. One day we'll get the time for it. Now, let's put on a little splash there. There's something happened this model earlier in which that I overstepped in the Crixbean onto his arm. I didn't worry about it though because Crixbean is a kind of a shade of green, and I would usually shade reds with green because it works really well. Green and red are opposite colors, so normally whenever you mix them, it's especially dull colors. If you mix dull colors together, they work really well. I wouldn't recommend mixing really bright colors, but whenever you mix these two colors, because the green is quite dull, it works really nicely on the red, and it added just that little bit of shading into it. Oh well, that's a good thing. She wants to watch a stream, then it's all good. I mean, I would opt for Pokemon. The Pokemons. I would sit and watch Pokemon all day, bringing back childhood memories, rather than watch some idiot on stream. But I mean, to each their own. I will welcome all ages. You can sit and flame me all they want. I think that is the beauty of Twitch, in that no matter what you stream, you're always going to find an audience, and the community is always so nice and welcoming that you never really feel threatened, especially in the smaller creative channels. I'm not talking about the gaming channels, but in these smaller community driven like creative stuff, everyone's always so nice. I'm not going to do his hand because I'm going to use the smaller brush for that. Let's get these pecs though. Sorry. It's off shot there. I was lost in my own mind. Having too much fun. There we go. Let's get a smaller brush. What figure am I painting? I am painting the Mantic Games Hellboy miniature. And if you have any Mantic Games miniatures lying around that you're particularly proud of painting as well, you can be in for a chance to win this very miniature for yourself. All you have to do is send a picture of it, of your painted mini, to Mantic Games website, to their Facebook or their Twitter, and you could win this for yourself. What an interesting thing to read in the chat there. So Ben, if you were on the website today, on the Beast of War website, you may have seen us streaming earlier today. We stream on Wednesdays, the Hobby Hangout stream, in which we talk about pretty much your hobby. So anything that you put up on the Beast of War forums, we'll go in and have a look at it, and we have a lot of fun. But Ben had a builder in today, and I told the builder he was streaming. So it seems like the builder walked in and seen a webcam and maybe thought the worst. Ben was dancing on camera. Who'd have thought? Ben has a secret identity online. That rascal. He's got a very pronounced chin. His face isn't very difficult to paint. It's just a little bit difficult to paint on stream. So because he's got a nice little soul patch right here as well. I'm just trying to paint around it rather than hide it. The red in the chest looks a bit weird to you. Don't worry, we'll get that fixed up because yeah, it looks a wee bit weird to me as well, but I just need to add a bit more layers to it. I'm well aware of it. Keep in mind we're trying to do this whole Excel shading thing as well. So while it may look weird in context to the comic, it may look quite accurate. Yeah, just looking at like his chest work and stuff, it's pretty much black for the abs and stuff, but I will go in and fix that, don't worry. It's my paint as well, it's a little bit flowy, so it just requires a few more extra layers than I would prefer to paint, to be honest. Let's not forget his ear. Yes, I am at home, and Lloyd isn't. This is from home at Beast of War, yeah. No, Beast of War HQ is not a mess at the moment. It is very, very tidy. The only mess there is in Beast of War is Justin's desk. If anyone can, do you remember those two ladies from Channel 4 in the UK that went in and cleaned your houses? If anyone can contact, is it Aki? Aggie and someone? Maggie? If anyone can contact them and bring them out of retirement just to clean Justin's desk, that would be fantastic. I've been looking at it with disgust for about 2 years. I even cleaned it once for him. That didn't stay tidy for long. He just accumulates stuff. I can't work with a messy desk. I don't like it. Okay. How's he looking now? What do you guys think? Think his chest still looks a bit weird? Let's fix up his chest a bit here. There we go, that's a bit better. That's much better, I think. Let's see if we can... Because his big hand here is kind of textured, I want to add just a little bit of like mottling detail to it. So I'm just going to go over it in patches and clean up those little areas. Just going to go over the reds as well and just bring up that brightness. Bring up the brightness on his feet. It's quite a significant change since they've been drying for a bit. Okay. And let's not forget his tail around the back door. Let's bring that up a little bit as well. Okay. Get our nice tea break. Let's fix up his knees. I just realized I forgot his knees. Don't forget your knees, fellas. There we go. Can never forget that. There we go. Nice knobbly knees. Tomato Bob. Let's get these trousers nicely highlighted. I've got a color here called Filthy Suit, which is these brushes are the Series 7 finest sable brushes from Winsor Newton, and I have a community member actually to thank for these because he sent them in. Tony Half Mile Duck sent me these as a kind thank you for streaming, and yes, I keep them very well kept. If you want to, a good tip for your paintbrushes is whenever you finish them, clean them obviously, but also use hair conditioner. Just get a little dot of hair conditioner and condition your brushes, and they'll keep them nice and yeah, just nice. They'll keep them really nicely kept. Brush repair gel. Shampoo your brushes, yes. Keep them shampooed. I feel like if you're not in the... If you don't have enough money to look after your brushes, maybe you can't afford the expensive brush cleaners and stuff. Cheap shampoo does the same job. It works very nicely. Shampoo or conditioner. Just conditioner. Just conditioner. Very funny. You boys keep me on my toes. Do you think we should make some tutorials on brush care, actually? Come to think of it, yeah, I would agree with you on that one, that there's not much out there for brush care, so it might be a good one to... nice topic to cover. So just as a reminder, if you want to win this miniature, post your best painted Mantic Games miniature to their Twitter or Facebook page, and you could be in the draw to win your very own Hellboy miniature. It's as simple as that. The more photographs you upload, the better chance you get of winning. So simple. If you've got a Mantic Mini, go for it. Why not? Even if it's badly painted, who cares? Let's just upload it anyway. I know I'm already painting this Mini, but I'm almost tempted just to go get out my Dungeon Saga, because I painted up all the minis for that, and just submit my own minis as well. I'm like, send me another one. I want to paint it again. There's a bit of trouser leg here. There we go. Now I think for cell shading, I think I've achieved something that's, you know, I'm quite happy with. Cell shading is not really about, you know, the perfect blend of shadows and stuff. It's very high contrast, and you know, making your miniature look quite cartoony in effect. So, and I really enjoy this kind of painting technique. I think some models really fantasy models do really well with painting like cell shaded stuff, whereas, you know, historical and more realist minis, I don't think it works so well. But with fantasy stuff, I think it's a perfect blend of just like kind of finesse and color choice. It requires quite a lot of brush control, and I can't say that I'm the best with my brush control, but I mean, I'm pretty pleased with that. You see, I haven't been reading the chat as much here, and you guys have been chatting away. Full painted all out war Kickstarter post. Yes, definitely. Post all of them. Each one counts. Could I write a thing about brush care? Maybe I should. Yeah, definitely, Amanda. I think you should. So get in contact with Ben, and you know, if you want to write articles, feel free. There's on the top right of our website, on the Beast War website, you can submit your articles there. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And that's not just for Amanda, that's for everyone on the stream. And yeah, I agree with it. For 2 hours work, I'm pretty pleased with this. But don't worry, we're not finished just yet. I've got some Hydra turquoise that I want to add into this thing, because if we look here, oh, it's bright red. This little on his belt, there's like a little red light, and you can kind of see it there. So I was going to do it in Hydra turquoise, unfortunately, or fortunately, because I looked at it, I know not to. I know to do it in red. So there we go. Let's stick. If you have references, always use them. Always look at them. I'm losing my voice. Okay. For the coat, I don't want, maybe desert yellow. Is that a nice color to go with? This is another option that you can go with. So maybe Troll Blood highlight. I think that actually might be the best one for it. Let's see. Bootstrap leather, no. What are we looking at? None of these colors will work. Maybe that one. What is that? Rucksack tan. Yes, that might be the ticket. The tracker. Okay. So that little light was called the tracker. Thank you very much. And I think this rucksack tan is the color to go for our coat highlight. Coat and our gun holster as well. Rucksack tan it's where it's at. Also, for anyone who's interested, I've been toning my impressionist painting. So if you'd like to purchase my new surreal piece, it'll go up for sale for starting at 20,000. I know I'm not asking for much, but you know it's there. I'm thinking about framing it, but I would be scared that someone would come in and steal it on me. Is it signed? I could sign it. Maybe sign it in the back. I could get some lipstick as well and kiss. Give it a nice little kiss on it. Now let's see, on the coat, should we start from the top or the bottom? Let's see, if we start here, at least then we have a beginning to it. Now I think the nice thing about creating cell shading is that I only need to choose 2 colors to highlight, essentially. Not even 2 colors, I only need kind of 1. Just need the base color and then the highlight color. And that works perfectly for me. Just a little dot on my brush tip there. We need a hobby wiki. That's a good idea, yeah. So let's assume that this guy is finished just from this side. What do you guys think? For cell shading and for looking like a comic book. So let's have a little comparison. So this is the comic book. If I scroll down a little bit. These are the comic books. And then this is the mini. Comic book. Mini. I am very pleased with how this has turned out. I'm very, very happy with this so far. Yeah, definitely I will be finishing off the gun as well, so don't worry about that, Ben, just yet. It's on my to-do list along with the hair. We still have the back of the coat to do, which I am terrified of because it's quite a large surface area. But we'll see how things pan out here. Let me see if I can get a decent angle for me to paint and also for you to see. Some black lines at the recesses, probably. Depends on how confident I am in my brush control. We'll see. And I'm sorry that you You're not a fan of the cell shading, Amanda. I mean, it's... Yeah, well... I mean, I really like this. And I think it works well for this miniature. And I'm almost very tempted to start doing it on more miniatures now. But, you know, to each their own. So it's a comic book, yeah, I think so. I think from the colors I've chosen and the way I've approached this, I think it works really nicely. I'm very proud with how it's turned out. This kind of technique, though, really requires a steady hand. Now, let's see, how do I approach this large area? So, who is that? I just said hello. You're coming out dark blue. Emeriku. Hello, how are you? Are you a fan of Hellboy? Thank you very much for joining the stream. Alright. Before I lose my voice, let's see if we can finish the model. And then I can go and get some dinner. I've been streaming for a solid 2.9 hours. 2 hours 9 minutes to be exact. I don't think the 0.9 works in this term. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been really fun for me. It's not often that I get to paint for such a big crowd as well, so I hope that since it's been a consistent viewership, I only assume it's been going well and you're enjoying it, so I'll try to keep that up. Let's see if we can get this even. Nice even coat distributed across here. Nice even coat for his coat. Oh, thank you very much, Martin. I'm trying not to be distracted. Nice little triangle bit of his coat here, which is just perfect for a little bit of highlight. There we go. Let's see if we can bring it back a little bit. It's a little bit difficult to do this kind of stuff on much larger surfaces, especially getting an even coat right across it. And I figure we do it in layers, just nice even layers, you can kind of work it out quite nicely. So there, that might be a good example of how to fix that. And we'll do down here as well. My brush is too wet, too damp. Let's go for this bit here, and that should be us completed with the coat, bar a few small fixes. But overall, yeah, let's fix a little bit of highlight here. There we go. I think he's looking pretty sweet. I mean, for cell shading, that surface area is very difficult, but I think we've managed quite a decent thing here. Let's get the blacks out of the way. Let's get a little bit of gold onto the key, and then I think I'm going to be finished. So a little dot of gold just for this key. I use one of my old brushes. I don't like using metallic paints on the good brushes. I usually use it on the old stuff, and that's just like a personal choice of mine. If we get some black now, where's my matte black? Coatception. Okay, where's my fine brush? My super duper fine brush. This is the finest brush of all. That's all I need. So let's get this gun. Can you guys see that? Let me see. Okay, if I hold it there. I feel like it's too dark. I guess that's more hair color, so let's get a little bit of this color here. Okay, this is better. This is much better. Here we go. I see my phone is going mad in the sidelines, so those of you who have been following the stream and like subscribing or tweeting to me and things, I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's been overwhelming, the response I've had on this miniature, and it's all thanks to you guys. I mean, you're the reason that I'm sitting here painting and having fun with this kind of stuff. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be doing it alone downstairs with a girlfriend. I wouldn't be doing it alone, but I'd be doing it alone with the girlfriend sitting beside me, giving me encouragements and stuff like that. And while that's good, this here gives me that extra bit of motivation to do more painting streams and stuff. I've had a lot of fun, and I can't thank you guys enough. Now, just to remind everyone of this painting competition, remember, if you get in your own comments and uploading your own pictures to Mantic Games, to their Facebook and to their Twitter, of your best painted Mantic miniature, you too can win Hellboy for yourself. You think the gun looks good? What color is his gun? Anyway, let me just check here. I don't see his gun in the comics, but it's kind of blackish silver, so that's fine. We love you too. The real powers behind the throne of Peace of War. Yeah, I make them look good on camera. I'm the editor. We make them look good. So Ben has been finishing off Bombaldi, and Goldberries have been very helpful. Ben, show us some pictures. Send me some pictures on Twitter. We want to see. If you aren't already following Ben on Twitter, Ben posts a lot of miniatures. I think he just writes news stories and paints all day. I'm so jealous, because I'm sitting there editing all the videos, and then Ben's just sitting in the background just going like, ha, painting minis and writing cool news stories. Here we go. We're getting his beard in. This is very detailed work, so please excuse me if I'm quiet. That's a good tip for anyone, if you know someone who talks a lot, just get them to paint minis. If you want them to be quiet for just about 2 hours or something, just give them a mini to paint. Yeah, he's looking good. I think to finish off this mini, I'm just going to paint his head. Just that little bit of red as well, because it's kind of mottled off. There we go. I think he looks pretty good. I'm very happy. Let's get his noggin shiny, and then we can get him sprayed up with some anti-shine and get that like varnish on him. Let's get this noggin nice and shiny. A good tip for anyone who's painting minis: don't ignore the head or the torso, because that's what people look at the most. No one cares about the legs. always paint the head and the torso with your best efforts. You can get away with just hiding the legs, because no one pays attention to the legs. I think I've done a pretty good job, but I'm clearly prioritizing my head and torso here, because that's what people will look at the most. Let's give his chin a little bit of highlight here, and then we'll be good. Right, guys, there we go. There you have it. The finished miniature of Hellboy from Mantic Games, painted in 2 hours 20 minutes. It's my fastest mini yet, I think. I think he looks really well. The whole cell shading thing, I was a little bit worried, I'm going to be honest. I was terrified to begin it because it's such a unique painting style, but I think I've really come to some new level of painting here, and I'm really happy with it. If you missed the start of the stream, or if you have been checking out anything that wants to be painting, if you need any tips or anything, don't worry, because tomorrow this painting stream, or hopefully tomorrow anyway, will be up on the Beast of War website, available to watch again. Unfortunately, there will not be any audio, I don't think. I think they're just going to be, I think I'm just going to be putting music on it and speeding up the footage. But yeah, if you want to see the stream again, feel free to come across to beastofwar.com and check out our stuff. Don't forget to send off your painted Mantic miniatures to Mantic Games, their social networks, to their Facebook and their Twitter. Everything goes. Anything Mantic, send it through, and you could win this very miniature of your own. And the mini is amazing. It's so good. Bye.